Ladies and gentlemen, it is your host of Hope Media, Andre Norman. And we today are still running the Moms Edition. I could run this episode and these series forever. There's nothing better than a mom's smile and a mom's touch. I remember my mom used to cook for me. My favorite meal was tacos. So I just think about my mom. Give a shout out to Cheryl Ann. Rest in peace. We love you. And with this coming in series, to just keep bringing light, bringing joy, we want you all to know that we're thinking about you, your mom's praying for you, and she's waiting for you. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. So you know I have the whole tribe of 650,000 people who came to hear you.
Yeah.
You know that?
I didn't know it was that big now.
There's a couple million people locked up, but it's 650,000 on this platform who wanted to hear your presentation and your sharing.
Yeah.
So you want to tell folks your name?
Sarah Cintron.
Sarah, where you from, Sarah?
I'm from Holland, Michigan.
You're from Michigan? Mm-hmm. I'm saying, so I am
Tilton.
so sorry about the Lions. They almost made it.
No, yeah. Almost.
Almost. It was a great season for them.
Yes, it was.
That was like the world's best season. They almost made it.
Yeah.
We got hope for next year.
I'm pretty sure that, yeah, they're getting there some way.
Listen, leaps and bounds. So, was you born and raised in Michigan?
Yes, yep.
Yeah. How was it there? It's cold in Michigan.
Oh, it's freezing at times, yeah. And the weather's bipolar. It's, one day it will be like 25, and then it will go up to 60 or 50.
Then it drops down
Yep.
to the freezing.
Mm-hmm. Again, yeah. So it's fluctuate. Just like this week, it was actually that too.
So,
It was like 60, and then they had the winter advisory. So
I'm sorry that you live in Michigan,
Yeah.
but I'm sure you're used to it.
yes, no.
So you can always move to Florida or something.
Yeah, I don't think I could deal with that heat either, though. I kind of feel like that might be a little too hot. Somewhere in the middle, maybe.
I don't know. San Diego.
Maybe, yeah.
It has the best weather in the country.
I'd probably do that one. No, I know I want to get out of Michigan soon.
Try San Diego. It's my recommendation if you want great weather.
Yeah.
So, why did you want to share your story with the world?
I just want to raise awareness about the issues that we have and deal with as mothers. I feel like it's not talked about a lot. There's no really support, there's becoming now support with awareness when we're talking about it, like on the social media, but there's no real way or nowhere to turn for us, because it's extremely hard at times. And be up and down, and every day we cry.
You cry every day?
Yeah.
Why do you cry every day?
Just, knowing that your child's behind bars and there's nothing you can do to help them through different areas. Like if, they lose somebody, they're grieving, you can't be there to help, be there and support them and comfort them. Just watching them grow or, being able to do things on the outside of the world. Go to college or really anything.
So when your child was sentenced, were you in the courtroom?
Yes.
And what did the judge say?
It was she, Mitaba. He was sentenced to life without parole. So.
Life without parole. Mm-hmm. So when the judge says, boom, life without parole, what happens to you?
My heart just went caved in. Like everything just seemed like a nightmare that I wanted to wake up from, but I can't.
So they walk money to the courtroom, and the DA leaves, the judge leaves, the bailiff leaves. You're just sitting there. You're thinking, what, this is not real?
Yeah, I can just how could this have happened? Like how did we get here?
How did we get here? So you grew up in Michigan. Mm-hmm. Where'd you go to high school?
Zealand, and then I got my GED.
So when you got to high school, what were you like in high school?
Oh, I was out there a little bit. I was very, I guess, I spoke up a lot for other people, like if I seen people getting like bullied and stuff like that, like I spoke up for them and got in some fights and stuff like that.
I was fighting.
Yeah.
The crazy thing is, right, we see moms, but before you were moms, you were just teenage kids in school.
Yep. Yeah.
And then all those teenage kids I've ever seen fight are now probably moms.
Yeah.
So,
It's,
did you win?
yeah, I mean, we got pulled apart, so it's really not much, you
It's
know.
just girl fights?
Yeah, just girl fights, so.
So you dropped out of high school?
Yes, I had my son, he was at 13, or I got pregnant at 13, and I had him at 14, so.
Wait. I missed something. Most people don't get pregnant at 13.
Yeah.
So, was your boyfriend in middle school with you or in high school?
Yeah, he wasn't, well, we were like 2 years apart, so.
So you're 13, and you had your first baby,
Yeah, well, at 14, yes, yeah.
14. That sounds hard.
It was, but I got through it with him. I mean,
What
we
did your
grew up
mom
together.
say?
Oh, she was mad, like in the beginning, and she pretty much just said, you know, at first it was abortion, and I'm like, no, I'm not doing that.
What did your dad say?
He wasn't really active in my life as much. He did come, and he, you know, my mom did speak with him about that and talk to him, so he did come out here because he's from Chicago.
So you're 14, ninth grade with a baby.
So then I was going to go back to school when my son ended up getting asthma. It was RSV. So he was in the hospital for a week. Well, it was either go to school, get my credits, or be with my son in the hospital. So I'm
Unfair
like,
choice.
I'm going to stay in the hospital, so.
So you just stopped going to school and you switched and got your GED?
Yep.
So was your mom helping you?
Yeah, my mom helped me out a lot. She was one of my biggest supporters, and she still is.
So you get your GED, and now what?
Well, at that time I was pregnant when I got my GED. I was pregnant with my other son. I was 17, I think 18 when I had him.
Okay.
So then I just,
So now you have two.
yep, I have 2 kids with him. And then we just pretty much, I got my own place, my apartment, where I raised them, and pretty much I worked, and that was about it. I tried to go to college. I was going for computer information systems, and I ended up not really liking it too much, and then my blood pressure kind of went through the roof, so I kind of stopped doing that.
So now you got a job, you got an apartment, and you're raising the kids.
Yep.
Is their dad still with you?
No. No, I left. I split up when I was 18, so right before I had my second son.
So it's like, okay, this is over. So now you're a single mom with 2 kids in Michigan.
Yeah.
Where it's freezing.
It was freezing, yeah.
That was the time to move to Florida.
Yeah, it probably was, yeah.
So what did they do as kids? I mean, were they sports? Were they academics? Were they like nerds?
They were, my son liked to be, my older son, we tried to do like baseball and stuff. He didn't really care for that a lot.
You didn't care for baseball?
No, he really wasn't into sports that much at that time. And I feel like that was lack of me also pushing him to do that, you know. I always felt like if he wanted to do it, he'll do it, but that would have been, I should have done, you know, put him in sports and push him to do more, because then he would have had, you know, at least some type of hobby at that time.
Activities, yeah. So the older kid didn't do sports. What did he do?
Mainly, honestly, he just hung out with like my sisters and my brother, and they did video games or, you know.
Kid stuff.
Yeah.
Then your younger son?
He didn't really play sports either or anything like that. He just liked to hang out with his older brother and, you know, play fight and all stuff like that, so.
Yeah. I didn't like to play fight with my older brother. He used to beat me up.
Yeah.
I beat up my little brother. He go get my older brother, and then they both come back and beat me up. So I've been fighting 2 against 1 since the beginning. It was like, and my mother never came. Why didn't y'all come intervene in that?
No, it's like you guys keep fighting anyway. Why we're going to go back and do that?
It's 2 against 1.
Yeah, I don't know.
I guess she wanted me to get tougher, I guess. I don't know.
that's another thing too. With like even with my other son, he told me with my sister or my daughter, and I have a niece, and they're like to play fight and stuff like that. And he's like, "Don't you save them?" I'm like, why? He's like, because they need to get stronger. I'm like, okay, that makes sense,
Battle
I guess.
robots,
But
battle
yeah.
robots.
So
It works.
yeah,
I'm saying it's no harm in kids fighting each other.
no,
They're siblings. My sisters used to torture me.
oh yeah,
I will never forget. I can't remember which one it was, because probably my favorite sister. That's why I blocked it out. Remember the grease can by the stove?
yeah,
You pour the grease in. You cook bacon or whatever, and you pour the grease in the thing, and
Yeah.
we had a big thing of grease, and it would get hard, and it's kind of be like lard. One time they took grease with that lard, and they put it in bread and made a little ball. They made me eat it,
oh man, no,
and I was like, to this day, I don't like trying foods that I don't know because of them. They made me eat grease. I ate dirt on my own. I admit to eating dirt cakes. You know what I'm saying? The mud cakes, mud pies, I'm cool with mud pies. I was not cool with eating grease.
no, I wouldn't have either. That's yeah.
So you supposed to step in, Ma.
I would have probably done that if I was there and seen it. So.
I'm trying to tell you, there was some grease in there somewhere. Something, check with the little one.
Yeah.
They made me eat something that he didn't want. But now that's the only thing that ever made me eat grease. And there was 6 of us.
I don't think I've ever had that, with any of my kids or anything that I know of. Or even my sisters, we never really did that. We would.
I was born when there was no PlayStation, no Xbox, no cell phones, no internet, none of that. So we just played with each other. And we had stuff that was in the house.
Yeah, that's true.
So we really came up with Monopoly, old school. So your kids are growing up, they make it to high school?
They made it to the 9th grade. My oldest son, he got expelled. It was the 9th grade. He got bullied a lot throughout kind of 6th through 8th grade because I worked at McDonald's, so.
What was wrong with him? He got people tease him?
Yeah, so he kind of, he just kind of left it alone for a little while, and it got excessive about it. So then he
acted out one day.
He acted out one day, and then they expelled him. So he got expelled, and then we kind of went through the motions of trying to,
Alternative schools
and everything, and it didn't work out with that. So then his year was up. We went back and tried to get him back into the school. And the superintendent shook my son's hand and was like, congratulations, welcome back. The next week, we were trying to go there and speak, get him enrolled and stuff like that. Well, I guess since he didn't do the last week of the 8th grade or the year prior to that, they weren't going to take him back. But I'm like, why would you want him to go for a week when he
They didn't want to take him back, so they came up with a good reason not to.
So after that, we went to try at the Holland High, and then that's kind of, a little bit of spin. Ended up turning out to be mixing with the wrong group.
He mixed with the wrong group? He got arrested?
No, he did not get arrested then or anything. I didn't really know anything about him really hanging out much because he stayed home a lot.
Good kid, quiet kid?
Very quiet, yep, good kid. He liked to be on his iPad or play his Xbox a lot. He didn't really go out much at all.
And then at what point did you get the call that he got in trouble?
It was when he was 18. He had just turned 18 on Christmas Day, and
You had a Christmas baby?
yep, Christmas
That's horrible. Because you get Merry
Yeah.
Christmas, Happy Birthday gifts.
Yep,
My nephew's like right there. Merry Christmas, Happy Birthday.
yes, he hates that too because he's like, it's always that. I'm like, oh, I try to make it a little bit more, but it gets expensive too around that time of year,
I'm in June. I'm cool with that.
Yes, I'm
I
June
still didn't
too.
get stuff in June, but I didn't feel as bad as if it was Christmas, Happy Birthday.
Yeah, I'm in June too, so yeah.
What day?
21st.
15.
Oh,
You was
not
almost a Gemini.
yes. I've had it sometimes where it does say Gemini, but I feel like I'm now Cancer, so.
Can't be part of the tribe. I'm sorry. My
Yeah.
son was the 27th, so I'm like, I don't even acknowledge his zodiac sign.
The Cancer, yeah.
My mom's a Gemini. I'm a Gemini. My favorite sister's a Gemini. My little brother's a Gemini. There's 4 of us in the house, which meant 8. On top, we just didn't pay the other 3 any attention. So he gets in trouble. Your phone rings and somebody says, "Hey, your kids in the county jail?
It was a lot to take in at that time. You know, a lot of questions that I had. And you can't really ever ask or find out anything, you know, what happened or any of that type of stuff because everything's being recorded. Still to this day, I don't know, like, it's complete everything, you know. You just see the evidence or whatever.
So you're like, he's a quiet kid home playing video games, and the next thing, he's in the county jail with a serious charge. You're like, how did this happen?
Yeah, it was hard. It was definitely something that I wouldn't wish on anybody. It's like a nightmare that you just don't wake up from.
Did he call home?
Yes.
What was that first phone call like?
Relief. He was okay.
Okay, you thought he was going to be
I just felt like it was just like more of a mental thing, like, you know, and being able to speak with him, coach him through it. It was definitely difficult.
How often did he call home?
He calls every day.
How are the calls for you when he calls?
I enjoy them. It's hard when he doesn't get to call.
I mean, when he does, so he calls every day. You like happy for the calls?
Yeah. Yep.
And when he doesn't call, how do you feel?
Worried, anxious. You don't know why he's not calling, if he's on lockdown or something could have happened to him, you know, or, you know, anything could be. In my head, it goes, you know, the worst of the worst, so.
This is a worried mom. Does he know you worry about him?
Yeah. He's grown up a lot in there with, you know, understanding stuff now. And so there's a lot of positive that came with it, you know, with him growing up and, you know, learning to be mature about stuff. And it just kind of sucks that it's, you know, where he's at.
Does he get video visits?
Yeah.
How are the video visits?
They're nice to have, to be able to see him in his face, you know, like to see a smile and, you know, laugh and see the kids because his siblings, he's actually like 8 hours away from us.
Was he like in Upper Marlboro somewhere?
Yeah.
I mean Upper Peninsula?
Yeah.
I went up there. I've been to Upper Peninsula. It's just far.
Yeah, it's very far.
If you live anywhere near the central or lower part of Michigan, I didn't know it was that far. It's like you're almost in Canada.
Yeah, it's 600 miles from Canada where he's at. And he's, I think, 599 from where I'm at, from our house. Oh, it's like kind of right square in the middle.
I went up to Chippewa. There's a place called Chippewa. Flew into some crazy airport. It's like this big. It's like almost the size of this room. And when I got off the plane, it said, "Welcome to Canada." Even though I'm still in the States. It's like literally like that close.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's not some places you want them to go.
No.
It's just out of the way. I didn't know it was way up there. But when you look at the map, they're like, "Hey, we're at Chippewa." I'm like, they called me and said, "Will you come to Chippewa?" I said, "Sure." So I looked at the map. It was December when I first promised to go. I said, "I'll come in when the snow goes away, because you get up there, you might get trapped."
Oh, yeah. The bridge will close down and stuff all the time. That's one thing that when we found out he was going up there, we were like, make sure to get the text now so then you'll get the text if the bridge shuts down and then you don't go all the way that far. You can't go over it, so.
Have you had that happen?
No, I've only been able to go up there twice.
So how is it? Do you drive? How is it to drive? What are you thinking when you're driving up?
Just excitement to see him. You know, we haven't gone up there much, even though we live in Michigan, so it's beautiful. So it's, you know, the scenery is gorgeous, and you're able to just kind of tour and go around the area while we visit them too.
What's it like driving home, having to leave them there?
Oh, it's hard. It's more emotionally draining.
I'm asking, 'cause my mom used to come see me, and she never broke down in the visiting room, only once. She'd always come in with the mom smile and ready to go, and you're a great kid and you can do better. So you have to put the face on before you go in the visiting room?
Yeah, sometimes it's hard, and I mean, for the most part, I can. I think I've cracked like twice, you know. but I also, because I have my daughter there, and my other son, or my mom or grandma.
Oh, you bring the whole family.
Yeah.
Oh, you're like the mom everybody wants. You're like, you bring the whole crew.
Yeah.
I mean, we know moms like, you're like, man, you're lucky.
Yeah. That's
She's trooping with mom, with grandma, with little sisters and brothers.
Yeah, that's what he tells me all the time. He's like, like he's very grateful that he has us, that, for everything that I've do for him. He's like, not many people have that in there. He's like, you would be very surprised, like there's not many at all.
14 years. I think my mom came me 4 or 5 visits in 14 years.
Yeah, I couldn't do
And
that.
my prison was probably 40 minutes from the house. Well, I'm not talking about 4 hours. I'm talking about 40 to 50 minutes from the city to where I was. But she just couldn't do it.
It's hard though. It's mentally and emotionally draining. When you go there, you're excited because you get to see him, but then you got to go through like metal detectors and
Take your belt off.
everything, plus the kids have to do that. So it takes a strain on you at times. So I mean, I understand where some moms, feel that way too. So I mean, I wouldn't, every person deals with it differently.
He's watching you right now. This is playing in Michigan DLC.
No, I didn't. I will.
Oh, no. He's going to be like, that's my mom. That's her. I'm saying, give him the mom smile. Listen, he's right now like, yo, my mom's on the tablet with Dre.
Nice.
We're in Michigan in real time. So now that you know he's watching you, he's one of the 650,000. All his friends in Michigan are like, yo, he's like, that's my mom. He's like, get out of here. He's showing them pictures of you everywhere. He's like, people are not believing that you're his mom.
Yeah.
Because right now you're a celebrity. They're like, she's on the tablet. That can't be your mom. So what do you want to say to him while he's watching?
That I love him and miss him, and I'm very proud of him. He's very strong mentally, and he's come a long way.
If his little sister would say, what would she say?
His little sister, she still gets a little I guess more or less. She's on him more like a mother too. You better not be doing this. You better write me or call me. So I never thought I would see that out of that side of her either.
She's doing the mom thing?
Yep. So she's always like, you better stay out of trouble. You better, stay on track. Because she tells him, if he ends up in the hole, it hurts her.
Oh, yeah? Has he been in the hole?
Yeah.
And they take his tablet away.
Yes.
So no emails, no phone calls, no video visits.
No. Well, we do get the video visits, I think. They just, I think it's
The kiosk.
yep, on the kiosk one.
He doesn't have his tablet.
No, they don't get he gets his tablet, but I don't think they do video visits on the tablet. They do it on the kiosk where he's
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So does he email you?
He's not allowed to email me. He is with his charge. It's like he was, yeah.
Okay. So he's prohibited from emailing.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
He was able to do it with the whole COVID thing. Since they couldn't really have visits and stuff like that.
They gave him the email.
Mm-hmm. So, but then they took that back, and then, yeah, he only gets 5 phone calls a week.
5 phone calls a week.
Mm-hmm.
And how many of the 5 phone calls a week do you use?
Oh, they all mine. He calls me all the time.
You want all 5?
I mean, I'll give him, if he has his friends or, whoever wants to talk to him and
But
stuff.
you would take all 5 if possible.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you one of the moms that walks around with their phone?
Yes, yep. I got the watch, too.
What do you mean?
That I watch so I could hear or not miss the calls.
So how important are these calls to you and your mental health?
Extremely important.
There are some people who say, oh, they've done bad things, they're in jail, they've been convicted, they're criminals, they shouldn't get these privileges of phones and tablets and video visits. What would you say to them?
It doesn't matter what anyone has done or where they're at. They're still human. They deserve, to have, especially even mothers, that's still my child or someone else's child that deserves to be able to, see their child and son or, daughter. I mean, they did make a mistake. or if, it doesn't mean they need to pay for it, like, that extreme. I feel like it's a phone call, it's, having video visits. It's just, having family support is what's going to help them do better when they come home. Taking that from them or not letting them have that is, ultimately you're just setting them up to fail then.
So they're taking it from them. What about taking it from you?
It's extremely hard to do life day to day without knowing if your child's, okay, or any of that, really. So it's tough.
What do you think he's going to think, or what do you think he's going to be thinking when he sees this?
I don't know. I might think about me crying.
They're crying about him, so
And maybe he's going to feel bad.
I think he might be motivated. I think mom's tears can only motivate a child. It'd break my heart to see my mother cry, especially about me. And I think it's going to be, hopefully, the thing that motivates him more to do more.
Yeah, and he's been trying to do that. He got his GED in there, so that was a positive thing. He was so excited about that too. And I was so proud. I am so proud of that, He's trying to do the best that he can in there and staying, positive with stuff, not just being negative. And he's, yeah, he makes mistakes. They all do, but.
It's prison. There's a lot of temptation in prison.
Yeah, but he stays on track for the most part recently, so.
I can tell you this. I got a GED in prison.
Mm-hmm.
I happened to get it in solitary confinement. And I came home with my GED. And I've worked in over 26 countries. I worked for the White House, for Harvard Law School, for London Business School, for the UN. I worked for countless multi-billion-dollar agencies. I worked with people all over the planet with a GED only. So that GED works.
Yeah.
So I want you to know that that's all I have. I have a culinary arts degree. Shout out to the chef, thank you. I do have a culinary degree. But my main thing was GED. I got that. They're like, Dre, you need to, look, I've taken that GED around the world 7 times. So now he has it. He can keep going. He doesn't have to stop. Like, well, Dre, stop. I ran out of time. I waited too long to go to school. I wish I had started going to school in the beginning of my sentence instead of the end.
Yeah.
I had more time to read, more time to study. For the first 6.5 years, I was being a cool guy. I didn't start out as a good kid. But we're turning around.
He reads a lot of books and stuff like that right now. He got into reading a lot.
We got to get you some books for him. I got some book recommendations.
Oh, he would love that. I know that.
Yeah, I got some phenomenal book recommendations.
He definitely could use that, yes.
Yes.
I didn't think he could read them, or he would be a reader like that, but yeah. He likes a lot to read, and then he'll watch his shows or, on the tablet or his TV.
Watching Mom. This is going to be his favorite show.
Yeah.
This is going to be his favorite show. It better be your favorite show. Come take your tablet from you myself. You see, you got Mom Dukes on the tablet, man. You is in pocket, for real. So, do you know how lucky he is to have you?
Yeah, I mean, I think I do, yeah. It's hard to, I know he is lucky to have me too, but I'm also lucky to have him,
So, you wouldn't consider, cutting him off and disowning him?
Oh, no. Mm-mm.
He got in trouble.
I mean, we all
Made
make
some
mistakes.
horrible decisions.
We've all made mistakes, things have happened.
So you won't cut him loose, kick him to the curb?
No. I could never do that, no.
You can never do that? Mm-mm. He's gone to the hole a couple times. I'm sure he's disappointed you once or twice.
Oh, yeah, he'll disappoint me, but my love for him is going to change ever.
You sticking with him? Mm-hmm. To the end?
Till the end.
Why are you so committed to this kid?
Yeah, me and him grew up together. Pretty much more than half of my life, he was with me. The past 5 years have been
hard, to say the least, about that. Because it's, my whole life has been with him. And then now it's kind of hard to continue to do life without him, but that's why the phone calls really, they help a lot.
You want some good news? I had 105 years. I overturned my case. When I came home, one of my buddies, my best buddy, had a natural life sentence. He overturned his case. I had a couple other friends with life sentences. Some got parole, some overturned their cases. I can tell you there's been countless people who've walked out of prison on appeals. Now, I'll say this. I won my appeal. I committed that crime. My buddy who overturned his case on a natural life sentence, it wasn't a question, did he commit the crime? He committed the crime. He committed the murder. But he still overturned his case, and he's been home for 10 years. So this is the thing moms don't understand, because they don't teach you criminal justice. When you're arrested and you go to the police station, the police decide, is it possession with intent or possession? So there's that space. When you get to trial, people don't like when I say it, it's kind of like who can tell the best story.
Yeah.
Because I say that because there's been countless people who've been released from prison 5, 10, 20, 30 years later, but they were convicted at trial, but 12 years later, DNA says it wasn't them, or something says it wasn't them. Then if you say, well, if DNA says he didn't commit this crime, how did he ever get convicted? There was a better story told.
Yep.
The evidence showed, or the story that was presented, made him look more guilty than innocent, and it's subjective to 12 people sitting in the jury box. If you can convince them that you're right, then you're right. Then DNA might prove you wrong later, but in that moment, the DA told a better story.
Yeah.
So his job or her job is to press for conviction. The defense is to press for non-conviction. So at trial is who can tell the best story. That's why all the law and orders, the Madlocks, is all these wonderful attorneys really smooth. But on appeal, again, it's not did you do it. On appeal, it's did they convict you the right way.
Yeah.
So when I went up on my appeal, the issue wasn't did I steal the car? Did I commit the robbery? The issue was did the lower court go about it the right way? Because I committed the crime, full stop. The trial court didn't prosecute me the right way. They made some errors and some bad errors. So what happens is the appellate court looks at the error from the lower court. They say, well, based on those errors, we're overturning this indictment, we're reversing this sentence, and we're dismissing it. It was never a question, did I do it? If it was strictly, did I do it, the answer is yes.
Okay.
So it's not, oh, well, because he did it, he'll never come home. It's procedural law,
Yeah.
it's prosecutorial law, it's appellate issues. I'm saying, so those things I have to live with. What I did, I have to live with. I wake up every single day and I try to make myself better and worthy of the chance that I've been given. My homie who had a natural, he came home. It's not about guilt or innocence. He technically did it. He wakes up every single day and he tries to make an impact for betterment in the world. I've been home 24 years and I still feel as though I need to prove I need to be out here. I deserve to be out here. And I want other brothers who are inside, and your son included, to say, hey, the work starts now and it never stops.
That's what I've been trying to push for, even with him, with me, I'm trying to push out there, raise awareness for us mothers, and the children that, all of our kids, just so they can kind of see it through our eyes. Because a lot of people, they just pass judgment on us. They don't, oh, it's the mom's fault, or, this and that, or whatever it may be. And it's really not.
You don't seem like the type of mom that was like handing out guns and drugs to kids. I've met those type of people.
No.
I'm saying, it don't seem like you was like sitting in the front room, smoking a blunt, talking about kids, go eat some Cheerios.
No.
You look like you was working. I mean, you was doing what you had to do. You was there for your kids. I mean,
I always tried to be there and do everything that I could. I had to, work full-time job. I was gone most times. My mom would babysit,
you were on deck for your kids.
Yeah. I always did everything I could for them, anytime I could, whatever they needed, I would have to get, I found a way. Sometimes it's like, how did you do it? I'm like, it just, God made a way, so it happened.
You flew from Michigan to Georgia to do this interview.
Yes.
Why?
Because it's important to me. I want to raise the awareness. I want to do something because I know I was put in this position for a reason, And I want to take this pain and turn it into purpose and show other mothers, too, they can do it, too, Speaking up and telling their story is going to mean, raise the awareness that we need and to show the world that, I get kids made mistakes, they're there. They don't deserve a lot of the stuff, but until we can speak up and not be shameful and care about being judged, how can we make any change?
How's it been since you've been here?
Oh, it's been amazing. I've loved connecting with everybody and just being able to hear everyone's stories and the support that you have. It's amazing to have, people that you can actually relate with. They know what we're going through. They know the feelings, the emotions, and the highs, low, everything. Not many people, like even my family, they miss my son, but it's different as from a mom. Like having that point of view and knowing that they know, that's helpful.
You got a house full of my mom would have fit in right upstairs. It was me and my little brother gone. And he had 30, and I just kept catching cases in jail, and she was like, this ain't gonna end. And she'd have been right upstairs with you, talking about, oh, my kid is off the... She might not have came in the beginning because I hadn't turned my life around. She'd be like, it didn't make point. She was stressed out, but I was stressing her out even more because I kept getting in trouble.
Yeah.
But she kept coming. She didn't quit on me. When I came home, they asked her, would you disown your son? She said, never. Disappointed? Plenty of times. Disown? Not gonna happen.
Yeah.
She said, that one there is mine. And she rocked with me. When I came home, she did one of the greatest things. She gave me space to go. She was like, go. Go do you. She didn't make me sit at the foot of her bed, sit in the house. I came home with a plan. I had high energy, and I'm running. And she never made me feel bad about just being on the go. I'm on planes, I'm on trains, I'm on buses, I'm on stages. And anytime I called her, she would come to one of my presentations. She would come present with me.
Oh, that's amazing.
I went to a jail one time. I presented, and I talked about my mom. And the whole room was like, whoa. So I was like, I went to the phone, Mom, you got to come up here tomorrow. She came to jail with me the next day, and she came on the floor, and she gave the mom speech. You think, if you've never heard me give a keynote or a speech, I go hard, but I get it from her. She came in there and hit the drum, boom, and she gave them the business. But they loved it because they know that she loved them.
Yeah, it's all about it. A lot of them, they want the guidance. They need that guidance, They need to be able to see somebody cares out here for them, That's really important for them, too. Otherwise, what reason do they want to not get in trouble or, any of that type of stuff? So I feel like that's another reason, that I feel like the awareness and to know that is to even build a community that somebody can be that, support system for somebody.
You might have to do a mom tour.
Yeah.
Take y'all on tour, and y'all just go open the jails and just be like,
Yeah.
There's nothing like, listen, they'll fight the COs, they'll fight the other gangs, they'll fight their friends, they'll fight the moon, but ain't nobody fighting against mom.
Yeah. So I feel like the mothers right now, we're powerful to be able to help make that change, and to guide them in the best way that we can. Us coming together is huge, I feel like. And I feel like it's going to make an impact.
The country of the Bahamas hired me one time because a lot of kids were going to juvenile detention and going to adult prison. So they brought me in and said, Andre, how do we get these kids not to go to juvenile and then end up an adult? So I designed a program which was an alternative school. And I said, where's the state prison? Which was like 5 miles. I said, I need my school to be 5 minutes from the state prison. So we found some location. The way the school was going to be set up, all the alternative kids would come here. We'd go to the jail where most of their fathers were, and the warden would give permission for the fathers to come to the school and be day workers. So instead of going out cleaning up the roads or picking up trash, these 50 kids, all of their fathers who was in the state prison, Her Majesty's prison, would come over to the alternative school and be in the hallway. So imagine me and you in the classroom and we get in a fight, because that's what we do. Then the teacher would come, the principal would come, security would come, and we cuss them out too. And then we might get suspended. If we're on probation, it might take 6 weeks for our PO finds out about it. And by the time we get to court, which is another 6 weeks, the judge is reviewing a fight from 4 months ago. And they're not gonna pay attention. Yeah. Imagine when we get in a fight and your dad pops up at the door. Yeah. That's different.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
So I was like, how do we get this kid to listen? I said, we don't need a probation. We need a security. We need dad. So I designed it to get all the dads from the jail, from the prison, to come over on day shift. And that was the plan. The school was like designed, ready to go. It was phenomenal. It was built around dads. And now I got to go back and design something for moms.
That would be amazing, honestly. I feel like make a big, huge help with all that stuff. I mean, the dads, that's very important too. You know, both mom and dads are a huge impact in their kid's life.
Mom more.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. I'm not going to argue with that one.
Listen, I'm not hating on dads. You know what I'm saying? I'm a dad. But mom more. I slept in their bed, but I thought I was sleeping in her bed. It was like TV was better in her room. Food tasted better coming off her plate.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? My mom's food just tastes better than everybody else's food. The food that she had on her plate.
Yep, that's what my
I eat
kids say.
Snicker bars to this day because that's what my mom ate. Mm-hmm. I am my mother reborn. That's why I describe myself to people. And I've never said I'm my dad reborn. I'm cool with him, but I've never said I'm my dad reborn. I have a lot of his tendencies, habits, and traits, but I just identify with mom.
I feel like, yeah. My son can feel that way too. Both my boys, I think. They're mama boys, honestly. Now my youngest, he's 2, so.
You got a 2-year-old now?
Yeah.
So you're up to 4?
Mm-hmm. 4 kids, yeah.
So has he seen his little brother?
Yes, yeah. He was, yeah. You got to see him, I think he was a month old, 2 months. So it was during COVID, so it wasn't like he could really hold him and stuff. But then I think it was when he was a year old, he was able to do that. And we got pictures of him, so.
So how was that when you was handing your little boy to the big boy?
It was a really good feeling to see that he can, the smile on his face, and for him to be able to, connect with his brother. And his fear was, he wasn't going to know him or anything like that. And his brother went right to him. Like, there was no question. Like, he knew his brother,
Genetics.
Mm-hmm.
You got strong genetics?
Yeah.
That DNA, that's that family DNA.
Yep. And the connection they had was, yeah, it was priceless at that moment.
Did you get a picture?
We did get a picture that day, yep.
What, you keep it on your phone?
I do have it on my phone, yeah, I do, actually.
Picture that, it was a lucky guess. So before we leave, is there anything you want to say to all the kids because we're going to call them kids because you're mom.
Yeah.
We got some grown adults in here, but we're still going to call them kids because you're mom. What do you want to say to the kids?
That you matter. You matter, and hopefully I'm assuming like we can actually get some support systems for them to go, to have, and no matter what circumstances you have, you continue to fight and be positive each day, because you never know what's going to happen or what that day will bring.
We're doing more than praying for people. We're working for people. Mm-hmm. Say, hi, bro, we're praying for you. Nah, I want to see some work.
Yeah.
Faith without works is dead. Mm-hmm. I'm glad you got faith there. I'm getting out of here. Let me see some work.
Yep.
So we're actively working to help everybody humanly possible have a better life and a better space, and they can level up. and we're looking for your son. What's your dream for him if he comes home?
My dream for him, or
Yeah, your mom.
I want him to be successful and succeed and to give back and help, others in situations that, he was in or he is in, I want him to be able to take his experiences and everything else and, give back. Because he's the one that knows about the stuff like that. He can help make that change in there. He's been there. He knows. It's not something that I can really do because I don't know what happens back there,
Well,
And
when he comes home, I'll mentor him.
Oh, I would love that, yes.
I mean, real talk, I mentor him. I've been around the block a few times inside. I've been around the block a few times outside. And I qualify as a mentor. I just say that.
Yeah,
And when he comes home, I got him.
thank you.
No problem. I mean, how can I say no to him when you're sitting here like you're going all in for him?
Yeah,
So I'll work with you in helping him have that dream of being successful in the space of creating impact. Because he can do it.
yes, he can, yeah. He has a very strong-willed, attitude with it too, so.
Yeah. All right, well, it's time to go. You survived.
Yes.
You thought you was nervous.
I was very nervous, yes, extremely.
Are your nerves gone?
Kind of, yeah, now that it's over. But I feel like it was kind of, through the middle of it, it kind of went down. Yeah,
Okay.
it was better.
See? It's in you. There's nothing stronger than a mom. Nothing stronger than a mom. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is your host, Andre Norman. This is Hope Media, the Mom's Edition, best ever. See you soon.